Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
If you're struggling with debt, surely the last thing you need is for credit card companies to give you the opportunity to borrow even more. It sounds logical, but the Citizens Advice charity has found that nearly 1 in 5 customers who are struggling financially have had their credit limit raised without even asking for it. The finding comes on a day when official figures on long-term personal debt have been published. Here's our economics correspondent, Andy Verity.
Borrowing on credit cards has been growing by 9%, far faster than wages. And Citizens Advice says irresponsible practices are keeping people in debts they can't get out of. Tracy Banham ran into trouble when her small business hit difficulty. She and her partner used credit cards to plug the financial holes. Then sickness struck, then separation, and it was all too easy to find a temporary solution by borrowing more. She racked up debts of £37,000.
It got to the point where I was just paying off interest, basically. I was actually not, at one point on one credit card I was paying £700 a month, and probably £60 of that was just coming off the debt. That was just one of the credit cards.
Figures published today by the Bank of England confirm consumers have borrowed £201 billion on unsecured loans, with a third of that on credit cards. Yet 1 in 5 borrowers have been given higher credit limits without asking for them. On 2.2 million credit card accounts, borrowers spent more on charges and fees than on repayments, pushing them further into debt. What's perhaps surprising is that 10 years after a crisis caused by loose lending, all you need is a credit card and you can borrow money that you haven't asked for without anyone checking if you can afford to repay it. Lenders aren't required to carry out affordability checks before they raise your lending limits. Citizens Advice says if borrowers haven't reduced their debts for 2 years, lenders should be expected to get in touch and offer help, like suspending interest payments.
We would like credit card companies to stop, if you like, unilaterally raising these credit limits. We also think that the regulator can play a bit more of a role, so that when credit limits are extended, and this is done in agreement with the customer and the company, that there should be more of an affordability check just to make sure that people can afford to pay back the money they're borrowing.
The body that represents most credit card lenders, UK Finance, says it's taking steps to prevent struggling borrowers being offered more credit, and that it's working with regulators to help people manage their debts. Andy Verity, BBC News.